years ago, I started my weight loss journey. And back then, I hit my rock bottom. My depression was at its absolute worst. I was suicidal. I didn't want to live. I could barely even see colors. Everything felt like it was in gray. I was just miserable and I hated life. I didn't want to go on. And it hit me one day that the answer to all my problems is losing weight. I hate being big. I didn't want to be fat anymore. So I started losing weight. And over the course of about 2 years, I lost almost 200 pounds, basically, in just a few years. And I told myself then that I would never go back. It would be impossible. There's no way I could ever gain that weight back. And suddenly, I did. It took me, in the same amount of time that I gained it, I lost it. In the same amount of time it took me to lose the weight, I gained it back just as fast. And I kept telling myself, oh, well, I'll turn it around once I get to this weight. I'll turn it around once I get to this weight. Well, that never happened. I never reached that weight where I turned it around all of a sudden and I got back on track. That didn't happen. So suddenly I went from the low 300s to 400, back to 500, almost 600 now. And the question I asked myself just a few weeks ago was, do I have a rock bottom now? Because I had it a few years ago, and that rock bottom helped me lose weight. Well, now I felt like I crashed through that rock bottom and fell into a new low. And that new low doesn't have a bottom. And I was afraid just a few weeks ago that there was no rock bottom and I would just keep gaining. One of the hardest things about losing weight is gaining it back. And you gain so much more perspective once you gain it back. Being someone who's been big their whole life, when I was losing weight, I didn't see it. People had to tell me all the time how great I looked. But the only thing that I went by was the numbers on the scale. I could not see it with my own eyes. But looking back now, I go, wow, I was so much smaller. I was so much happier. I was so much more mobile. I was so much more active. And, I took it for granted. And then you look back and you think to yourself, I did all that accomplishments. I achieved so much in such a short amount of time. I can't believe I'm back here. And you beat yourself up for it over and over and over and over again. Well, I finally hit my rock bottom. I think yesterday I was going to a store. I went there to pick up some stuff. And while I was there, everything hurt. I remember from years ago when I was at my highest weight, what it was like to be out in public. I hated it. My social anxiety was absolutely terrible. And now it's gotten terrible again. But more than anything, the pain that I was in from just being upright was tremendous. And that's what yesterday reminded me of, was being out all those years ago in that pain. The pain wasn't quite on that same level because I'm not quite that big yet, but it's there. My back hurts, my feet hurts, my knees hurt, and I want to hurry up and get out of there as fast as I can. I can't really look around the way I want to because I'm in pain and I want to get out of there. And I thought to myself, look at me, I'm leaning on a cart for support. And I haven't had to do that in years. I remember when I stopped doing that. And that was what you would call a non-scale victory. And now I'm back to leaning on carts for support. And I feel it. I don't want to go on like this. I'm definitely going to turn this around now, though. I needed that perspective. I needed to really feel it. My social anxiety has gotten so much worse. My social anxiety never went away, but it got better. And with every pound that I've gained back, it's gotten worse again. And now I absolutely hate being in public again. I don't want to become a recluse. close again like I was for a few years. Many years ago. I don't want to become that person again. I don't want to become that cut off, that shelled in. So I'm going to, avert the course that I'm on and definitely change it. I'm starting now, like literally right now. I'm changing what I'm doing. I'm not going to be eating all these sugar things. I'm going to quit the binges. I'm going to listen to my body. I'm going to drink water. I have to get back control, and I do feel like I can turn it around. Like, even though I still plan on getting weight loss surgery, I want to lose some weight before I get there. And I have a little under a month to do that. And I want to honestly lose about 20-30 pounds before then. And I think I can do it. And I need to do this for myself. I know that the weight that I'm at right now is it's doing a number on my body, I'm back on all these medications that I got off of. And now I want to be back to where I was. And I plan on getting there. So this is just me holding myself accountable. I want it to be out there in the universe. I want that energy to be there. I want to be reminded that, I have goals and I have a responsibility to myself to get better, to be out of this. I didn't fight so hard all those years ago to lose that weight, to be back to where I am, or to be back to where I was. So from this point on, I'm going to take life by the throat and take control, manifest my own destiny, and take back my life. So that's all I really want to talk about this time. This is more of an accountability video for myself. But if you're able to relate to this, then better for it. But yeah, I just felt like I wanted to get this off of my chest and have it out there, because it's not easy to deal with being a bigger person, and it's not easy to deal with gaining weight back. And sometimes when you gain weight back, you feel like that you can't. You're so ashamed that you gained back X amount of weight that you continue to gain back even more because you're just so into stress about the gain. It's a vicious cycle that has to end. You have to make yourself end that cycle. I am ending the cycle from this point on. So I'm going to start losing weight again, for sure. Okay guys, until the next video, hope you have a great day.